Two blackouts struck in rapid succession, each cloaked in mystery. The first, etched in memory, was the US government shutdown on October the 1st, a spectacle that gripped the nation. But the second, barely a whisper. On September 1st, a billion-dollar spacecraft zeroed in on one of the most enigmatic visitors to ever grace our solar system. The pivotal moment arrived on September 3rd, poised to rewrite history until the feed went dark, not for mere hours, but for days. A fleeting chance gone forever. Was it an accident or something deliberate? What could NASA have glimpsed that demanded such silence? Tonight we rip back the veil on this blackout, revealing truths that are not just unsettling, but confirm the suspicions many of us have harbored about this interstellar intruder. If these revelations have your pulse racing like they do, mind smash that like button and subscribe now to stay locked into every twist of this unfolding saga. Drop a comment below. Tell us where you're watching from, what time it is there, and whether you believe we're being fed the full story or just a carefully curated version. To fuel this truth-seeking community, share this video across X, Facebook, Reddit, or even your private group chats. Your support is the heartbeat of our mission to chase stories like this. Thank you for standing with us. Now, part 1, the vanished days. NASA cut the feed, not the entire space program, not the internet, but something precise and unexplained happened in the first week of September 2025, the Psyche spacecraft. A marvel of engineering was on a mission to study a metal asteroid millions of miles away. But it had another target, a cosmic visitor called 3I Atlas. According to NASA's own public schedule, Psyche was set to capture images of this interstellar object around September 3rd or 4th, 2025. Here's where it gets eerie. When researchers scoured NASA's public archive, the raw image database where every Psyche photograph is meant to be shared with the world, they found nothing. No images from September 1st. No images from September 2nd. No images from September 3rd or 4th. No images from September 5th. The archive fell silent. Then, on September 8th, the images mysteriously resumed. A 72-hour void in the data during one of the year's most anticipated astronomical events, and no official explanation. Psyche isn't some outdated probe drifting in obscurity. This is a state-of-the-art mission backed by hundreds of millions of dollars, armed with high-resolution cameras designed to capture metallic surfaces in breathtaking detail. Its purpose: to study the asteroid 16 Psyche with precision rivaling Earth's finest cameras. So Psyche was perfectly positioned to observe 3I Atlas as it swept through our cosmic neighborhood. NASA's own mission overview publicly listed 3I Atlas as a key target. No secrecy, no classification, just open anticipation. Yet, when the moment arrived, when the spacecraft was primed and the window of opportunity wide open, the images vanished from public view. What is 3I Atlas? It's an interstellar object born beyond our solar system, hurtling through the galaxy's vast emptiness at staggering speeds. In 2025, it passed close enough to Earth to ignite the curiosity of scientists worldwide. These rare visitors from the stars don't come often. When they do, the astronomical community springs into action, telescopes pivot, spacecraft realign, and data streams in real time. These are the moments that redefine our understanding of the universe. These are the moments that spark discoveries. But this time, for 3 critical days, the data didn't just slow, it stopped entirely. The anomaly didn't go unnoticed. community researchers, astronomers, and space enthusiasts, ever vigilant in their scrutiny of public archives, spotted the gap immediately. They raised, system flagged it online, sparking heated discussions across platforms. Questions swirled, but NASA remained silent. No mention of a technical glitch, no hint of data processing delays, not even an acknowledgement of the void. The agency let the mystery fester. Could the US government shutdown on October 1st, 2025 explain it? Some speculated that data systems might have faltered, but the timeline dismantles that theory. The shutdown came a month later in October. The blackout struck in September. No external event, no scheduled maintenance, no known technical failure accounts for this. We're left with a void, an unexplained 72-hour silence during one of the most anticipated cosmic events of the year. In an era of unprecedented transparency in space science, this stands out. Images from the James Webb Space Telescope flood the internet. Mars rover photos hit public archives within hours. Data from countless space agencies flows freely to the world. Yet during this precise window with this singular object, the system went dark. The question isn't just what happened, it's why. Did Psyche's cameras fail at the critical moment? Did the spacecraft miss its mark on 3I Atlas? Or, and this thought lingers, were the images captured and then deliberately withheld? What could compel NASA to hide such data? The answers remain elusive, but this blackout is no isolated incident. It's the first thread in a larger tapestry of secrecy delays and mysteries woven across multiple space agencies and missions over weeks. As we tug at this thread, the entire narrative of transparency in space science begins to unravel, revealing a chilling pattern. If this leaves you as uneasy as it does me, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your location, the local time, and whether you think we're getting the full truth or a sanitized version. Share this video on X, Facebook, Reddit, or your group chats. Your support fuels our pursuit of stories like this, while NASA's Psyche probe went dark, an equally baffling mystery unfolded across the Atlantic. The European Space Agency's ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter TGO, designed to study objects like 3I Atlas as it traversed our solar system, was also set to capture critical data. ESA's system is built for openness. Images, spectra, and raw measurements typically reach the public within months. But when researchers scoured ESA's data archive for 3I Atlas observations, they froze. The release date for certain datasets was stamped 2099. Yes, 2099, 74 years into the future. Not a brief delay, not a clerical error, but a timestamp that effectively buries the data beyond our lifetimes. At first, researchers chalked it up to a metadata glitch, a common hiccup in complex systems. But then the dates shifted. Many changed to April 3rd, 2026, a date still months away from today, October 22nd, 2025. While closer than 2099, this delay remains significant, raising questions about what ESA might be holding back and why. This isn't just a glitch. It's part of a broader pattern of opacity surrounding 3I Atlas, challenging everything we thought we knew about open access to space exploration data. The contrast between NASA and ESA's handling of this enigma is revealing. NASA cloaked its actions in silence, erasing images from public view without a word. ESA at least admitted the data exists, promising a release, but locked it behind a cryptic April 3rd, 2026 date. Why would a space agency built on the principle of open science delay sharing data about an interstellar visitor by months, or in the case of that bizarre 2099 timestamp, decades? Typically, data on comets, asteroids, and cosmic wanderers flows to researchers almost instantly. Yet both agencies seem to be playing by a different rulebook. NASA's silence could be dismissed as a glitch, but ESA's deliberate choice of a future release date, specifically April 3rd, 2026, hints at intent. Historically, space missions like the Hubble Space Telescope have delayed data releases, giving research teams first access for weeks or months. Mars rover images sometimes face brief embargoes for processing. But 74 years, that's not a delay. It's a vault sealed so tightly it vanishes from public consciousness. ESA's eventual explanation. A metadata glitch feels flimsy when you consider the 2099 date. What if it wasn't an error? What if someone intentionally set that date to bury sensitive data in plain sight, only to scramble and adjust to 2026 when the public took notice? The shift from one timestamp to another suggests deliberate choices about what we're allowed to see. The implications are chilling. If both NASA and ESA are deviating from their standard transparency withholding or delaying 3i Atlas data, we're no longer dealing with isolated glitches. This is a pattern, a coordinated effort to treat this object differently. What did they see that demanded such secrecy? What image spectrum or dataset was so extraordinary that two leading space agencies altered their protocols? The answer may lie in what 3i Atlas revealed. Around the same time, these archives went dark, new images and spectroscopic data began to surface, painting a picture that defies explanation. In August 2025, ground-based telescopes and space instruments captured fresh imagery of 3i Atlas. What scientists saw stopped them cold, a jet of material shooting toward the sun. For anyone familiar with comets, this is unthinkable. Comets heated by the sun's sublimate ices into gas and dust, which solar radiation pushes away, forming tails that stream behind them like a cosmic kite. The tail always points away from the sun, a law as fundamental as gravity. But 3i Atlas broke that law. Spectroscopic data from Hawaii's Keck Observatory deepened the mystery, revealing emissions of nickel and cyanide, a rare combination in comets. Stranger still, the object displayed an anti-tail, a secondary feature pointing in an unnatural direction. This wasn't just an oddity, it defied every known model of comet behavior. It was as if 3i Atlas had its own propulsion, actively pushing material toward the sun, like a leaf blower aimed inward against the solar wind's relentless force. This wasn't a passive celestial object, it was behaving with purpose. The James Webb Space Telescope's earlier data only deepened the enigma surrounding 3i Atlas. Its atmosphere rich in carbon dioxide pointed to an origin near the carbon dioxide ice line, a region in a protoplanetary disk where such chemistry could solidify. This is bizarre for a comet thought to hail from the Oort cloud, the icy halo encircling our solar system, and even stranger for an interstellar object born in the depths of the galaxy. This chemical signature raises haunting questions about where 3i Atlas truly came from and what forces have sculpted its peculiar behavior. The sunward jet in particular gnawed at researchers. A comet's tail should trail away from the sun, driven by solar radiation, not stream toward it. This defies the bedrock physics of comets. Picture instead a spacecraft, a vessel venting material toward a star to shed heat, stabilize its trajectory, or even harness solar energy. Such a jet wouldn't be random, it would be deliberate, purposeful. The timing of this revelation adds to the intrigue. The August imagery showcasing these anomalies surfaced just as Psyche's high-resolution cameras were poised to scrutinize 3I Atlas in September. The scientific community was abuzz aware that this object broke every rule in the book. Yet, at the critical moment when Psyche should have delivered crystal clear images, the data vanished. 3 days of silence swallowed the archive. This wasn't just a glitch, it was a blackout. At the precise moment of truth, the August observations had whetted appetites, revealing an object that didn't fit any known mold. The sunward jet, the odd anti-tail, the nickel cyanide emissions. These were signatures of something extraordinary. And when Psyche, equipped with cutting-edge imaging, was set to peel back the layers, the feed went dark. If those images captured something that challenged the very laws of physics or hinted at a purpose beyond nature, hiding them would make sense. Such revelations could spark questions too profound, too disruptive for NASA to address publicly. When Psyche's archive flickered back to life on September 8th, it resumed its steady stream of images as if nothing had happened. But a meticulous search through every photograph, every NASA blog post, every tweet from mission scientists yields nothing about 3I Atlas. No follow-up images, no scientific papers, no casual mentions, just a void. This silence is deafening, especially given the fervor that preceded it. Weeks before September, Psyche's team had been vocal, brimming with excitement about capturing 3I Atlas. Interviews hyped the spacecraft's capabilities. Mission briefs outlined the science at stake. The astronomical community was primed for a historic moment. Then, after the observation window passed, it was as if 3I Atlas had never existed. The scientists fell silent. The mission website scrubbed all mention of it. The entire campaign vanished from the record. This wasn't just a missing dataset, it was a deliberate erasure of a moment that had been eagerly anticipated. What could explain this? A technical failure? A miscalculation in Psyche's trajectory? Or something far more unsettling, images so extraordinary they were locked away to avoid rewriting our understanding of the cosmos? If this mystery has you gripped, hit like, subscribe, and comment with your location, the time there, and whether you think we're being fed the truth or a curated cover-up. Share this video on X, Facebook, Reddit, or your group chats. Your support drives us to chase these shadows. The story of 3I Atlas isn't just about a strange object. It's about what's being hidden and why. The simplest explanation for Psyche's silence is a technical hiccup. Perhaps the spacecraft's cameras missed 3I Atlas due to a misaligned trajectory. Maybe a telemetry glitch disrupted data transmission, or a malfunction sidelined the imaging system. Spacecraft, after all, are intricate machines navigating the brutal void of space, where failures aren't uncommon. Yet NASA's response, or lack thereof, undermines this theory. Typically, the agency would issue a statement: Psyche experienced a communications glitch, or technical issues prevented full data retrieval. Such transparency is standard in mission operations. But here, nothing. Not a whisper. Another possibility, the data demanded internal scrutiny. Perhaps Psyche captured something so unexpected, anomalies defying explanation, that scientists needed time to analyze before going public. History offers examples like the Galileo spacecraft's images of Jupiter's moons, which revealed shocking geological features. Researchers took months to verify before publishing, but even then, NASA announced the delay, keeping the scientific community in the loop. With Psyche, no such courtesy was extended, just an eerie void. Then there's the darker prospect classification. If Psyche's images revealed something about 3I Atlas, suggesting it wasn't a natural comet, perhaps structures or behaviors hinting at an artificial origin, such findings could be deemed a national security concern. Precedents exist. Early reconnaissance satellite imagery was classified for decades. Some Apollo mission recordings were locked away until public pressure forced their release. An image implying an extraterrestrial artifact would trigger classification at the highest levels, far beyond the reach of mission scientists. This silence isn't just a gap, it's a chasm roaring with implications. In an age of open access space, science where rover snapshots and telescope data flood public archives, such a blackout isn't accidental. It's a choice. Someone somewhere decided to withhold what the world expected to see. That decision is the loudest clue we have. Let's piece together the events across agencies to uncover the pattern. In August 2025, the scientific community was electrified. The Keck Observatory in Hawaii captured spectroscopic data from 3I Atlas, revealing bizarre nickel and cyanide emissions compositions that defied comet norms. Blogs, preprints, and forums lit up with debate. The James Webb Space Telescope added fuel, detecting a carbon dioxide-heavy atmosphere, an oddity for an object presumed to originate in the Oort cloud or interstellar space. Late August brought high-resolution images, including the stunning sunward jet, a feature that shattered textbook physics. As September approached, anticipation surged. Psyche, with its state-of-the-art cameras, was poised to capture 3I Atlas in unprecedented detail. The mission's scientists had hyped the opportunity publicly, outlining the potential discoveries. Then from September 1st to 5th, the data vanished. No images, no explanation, just silence. When the archive resumed on September 8th, 3I Atlas was erased from the narrative as if the observation never happened. Across the Atlantic, ESA's ExoMars TGO faced its own mystery. Data expected in months was locked behind a 2099 release date, later shifted to April 3, 2026. This wasn't a glitch. It was a deliberate act mirroring NASA's blackout. The timeline paints a stark picture: 2 agencies, 2 missions, 1 interstellar object, and a synchronized effort to obscure the truth. What did 3I Atlas reveal that demanded such secrecy? If this story has you hooked, smash like, subscribe, and comment with your location, local time, and your take truth or cover-up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, or your chats. Your support keeps us digging. The clock is ticking toward April 2026. Will ESA's data unlock answers or deepen the mystery? The August 2025 image of 3I Atlas was a bombshell, a jet of material streaming toward the sun, defying the core principles of comet physics. This wasn't just a data point or a spectral reading. It was a photograph, a stark visual that anyone could see. The astronomical community was electrified, buzzing with theories and anticipation for Psyche's upcoming high-resolution images. Scientists, amateurs, and enthusiasts alike were poised for a breakthrough. Then came September 1st through 5th, the blackout. During this critical window, NASA's Psyche spacecraft, built to capture metallic surfaces in exquisite detail, went silent. No images appeared in the public archive, despite the scheduled observation of 3I Atlas on September 3rd and 4th. On September 8th, the archive flickered back to life, but 3I Atlas was conspicuously absent. No images, no mention, nothing. Even exhaustive searches of NASA's databases, blogs, and scientists' social media turned up zero. The US government shutdown on October 1st, 2025 was floated as a possible cause, but it's a non-starter. A future event can't explain a past blackout. It's a distraction, not an answer. Across the Atlantic, another anomaly unfolded. From October 3rd to 7th, ESA's ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter TGO had its closest encounter with 3I Atlas as it neared Mars. Equipped with advanced instruments, TGO was primed to deliver critical data. Yet, like Psyche, its findings are missing from public archives. ESA's response: the data will be released on April 3rd, 2026, months away, locked in a bureaucratic vault. This isn't transparency. It's a deliberate delay. Another window looms October 25th and 26th, when NASA's Europa Clipper en route to Jupiter's moon could turn its high-resolution cameras toward 3I Atlas. Will these images surface, or will we face another blackout? April 3rd, 2026 is circled on calendars as ESA's promised release date, but the pattern missing data, delayed releases, and unexplained silences casts doubt. Will the data flow, or will we find more logboxes, more classified datasets? This isn't a string of unrelated glitches. It's a constellation of withheld observations, deliberate delays, and sealed archives. NASA and ESA, two pillars of open science, are treating 3I Atlas differently. Setting release dates far in the future, silencing spacecraft at pivotal moments, and delaying data that typically flows within weeks. This isn't chance, it's a pattern hinting at intent, perhaps even coordination. Something about 3I Atlas is so extraordinary that it's prompted both agencies to abandon their usual transparency. Part 6. The Lost Windows, Mars, and Beyond. As 3I Atlas swept near Mars in early October, ESA's ExoMars TGO wasn't the only observer. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter MRO, armed with the HiRISE camera, one of the most powerful imaging systems ever sent to space, had a prime opportunity to capture this interstellar visitor. Yet like Psyche and TGO, its data remains absent from public view. No images, no statements, no trace. This pattern of silence across multiple missions and agencies raises a chilling question: what is 3I Atlas, and what did the spacecraft see that's worth hiding? The sunward jet, the carbon dioxide-heavy atmosphere, the nickel cyanide emissions. These anomalies already suggest an object that defies nature. If these spacecraft captured evidence of something artificial, something beyond our understanding, the stakes would be monumental. The lockboxes, the blackouts, the erasures, they all point to a truth too big to reveal. If this grips you, as it does, me hit like, subscribe, and comment with your location, the time, and your take truth or cover up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, or your group chats. Your support fuels our pursuit of answers. The clock ticks toward April 2026. Will it bring clarity or another layer of secrecy? HiRISE. The crown jewel of the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter boasts pixel resolutions down to a jaw-dropping 30 centimeters from Martian orbit. This powerhouse has unraveled dust storms on the red planet, exposing intricate wind patterns etched in crimson dunes. It's spotted car-sized boulders from thousands of kilometers distant, turning the impossible into pixels of revelation. With the ideal alignment, HiRISE could have etched unprecedented portraits of 3I Atlas zooming in on its nucleus to expose hidden textures, structural quirks, or the telltale contours that whisper whether it's a humble rounded comet forged by cosmic chaos or something. Sharper, more angular, eerily engineered. But where are those revelations? Have you glimpsed a single high-res, high-rise snapshot of 3I Atlas? Has it graced any public gallery or scientific vault? As of this moment, the verdict is stark. No, the images haven't surfaced. The data hasn't cascaded to the eager researchers clamoring for it. If HiRISE did lock eyes on the visitor, those visions remain shrouded, sealed from scrutiny, just like Psyche's elusive cache, just like the truncated ESR datasets. This isn't an oversight. It's a pattern. The legacy of Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and HiRISE is one of unyielding openness. For nearly 2 decades, it's beamed back torrents of Martian imagery, unveiling craters, canyons, and fleeting phantoms. It's framed Phobos and Deimos gliding across the sky, captured comets streaking through the Martian realm. The ethos is release by default share without restraint. Yet as 3I Atlas grazed the red planet, as HiRISE held the golden window to unveil details unseen by humanity, the torrent halted. The data diverged from its destined path. Why? A tidy technical snag might suffice. Perhaps the camera was locked on Martian terrains during that fleeting slot, or mission priorities pivoted to loftier targets. Maybe download queues, jammed transmission lags stretched into limbo. These are credible culprits, all woven into the fabric of spaceflight's daily grind. They could stall a release, sure, but total eclipse, absolute hush that demands more. In routine delays, portals pulse with status updates, processing underway, availability imminent. Here the archives echo with emptiness, now entertain a bolder shadow. What if HiRISE did behold 3I Atlas? What if its lens pierced the veil to reveal startling facets, surfaces etched with improbable precision geometries, defying erosion's random hand? What if the frames hinted at an essence beyond mere comet, a construct demanding dissection in shadowed labs before daring the daylight? In that crucible, the data would simmer under layers of vetting scrutiny from on high. It might earn a temporary shroud of classification, a grace period, to craft the narrative for a startled world. Layer this void atop Psyche's blackout and ESA's embargo, and the mosaic sharpens a deliberate mosaic of withheld whispers across instruments' agencies' orbits. We've transcended a lone probe's glitch. This is orchestration, a symphony of silences, where every prime vantage on 3I Atlas yields either vanished files or embargoed echoes. Coincidence crumbles under such symmetry. This bears the mark of verdict from vaults above mission bays, where stakes eclipse the stars. Ponder what high-res imagery unveils that spectra alone can't. Composition charts the brew atoms, dancing in the haze, unveiling the volatile heart. But visuals sculpt the form, undulating swells from gravity's forge or crisp facets, machined angles, hallmarks of intent. Natural relics bear the scars of eons, pocked asymmetrical, born of blind collisions. Artifice gleams with purpose, symmetry seems, signatures of a builder's gaze. That revelation cuts deepest, igniting debates agencies might dread. So the frames stay caged, the enigma swells, and we chase phantoms in the dark. What if 3I Atlas isn't a comet at all, but a relic of ingenuity, a probe, a vessel engineered for the interstellar abyss? What if its quirks aren't whims of physics, but echoes of thrusters, firing systems humming? The notion dances on sci-fi's edge, yet the clues beckon us to chase. Vigilant community sleuths poring over scant signals have spotlighted a bizarre halo encircling 3I Atlas. They dub it Space Invader-esque, evoking the blocky foes of arcade lore geometric insistent. This glow flickers in select wavelengths, a structured shroud defying the chaotic fuzz of a comet's coma. Edges, crisp forms deliberate, it defies the sloppy sprawl of dust and vapor. Mainstream minds chalk it to solar wind's sculpting hand, charged solar gusts molding dust and ions into an illusory frame plasma warped by nature's breath. Plausible, rooted in the physics we trust. But dare a detour. What if this isn't mere distortion, but deliberate discharge? Imagine 3I Atlas birthing its own plasma cocoon, electromagnetic armor, fending off the void, or ionized exhaust from a drive system purging heat. A craft wielding plasma sails or magnetic bulwarks, or venting superheated ions as byproduct of unseen engines, would etch just such a silhouette. Jets aimed sunward alloys, askew Halo's rigid poise, all align with the machine carving its niche amid stellar gales, not a rock tumbling blindly. The echo to 2017's Oumuamua lingers like a ghost. That cigar-shaped enigma surged with non-gravitational thrust, defying orbits alone. Flat elongated, it sparked whispers of solar sails, light-harnessed propulsion from afar. Debates raged polite facades, cracking into fervor. The taboo was voiced. What if these wanderers aren't mere ice and stone, but relics of intent? Now, 3I Atlas strides forth with sun-chasing jets, freakish chemistries that pixel-perfect halo anomalous haste. Unlike Oumuamua's shadows, we wield portraits and spectra tangible taunts that mock comet canon. The establishment clings to the familiar CO2 frost lines, birthing odd ice's nuclei twisted by rare recipes. They invoke kin from our own sky's freaks among the flock, yet as it hurtles toward perihelion, the veil thins. If this halo hums with artifice, if jets pulse with purpose, the agency's silences scream louder. Brace for the unveiling or the eclipse. If this cosmic riddle grips you, smash like, subscribe, and spill in comments your spot on the map, the hour there, and your verdict, hoax or harbinger. Blast this across X, Facebook, Reddit, your inner circles. You're the spark igniting these hunts. The stars await. The mainstream astronomical community urges restraint, insisting we exhaust natural explanations before chasing the extraordinary. Its sound science, Occam's razor, demands simplicity. But what if the familiar fails? What if 3I Atlas's behaviors, its sunward jet geometric halo and peculiar acceleration, defy every natural model? What if this object forces us to entertain the unthinkable, that it's not a comet, but a construct? Picture a solar sail probe engineered to roam the stars, harnessing stellar radiation for thrust. Such a craft would pivot toward the sun, sipping its energy to maintain course or stability during a daring flyby. The jets we see, the structured halo, the object's asymmetry. They align chillingly with the machine adjusting its bearings, not a passive rock shaped by cosmic whims. This isn't mainstream, but it's not disproven. It fits the data, demanding only a bold leap in assumptions. Now imagine NASA or ESA glimpsing evidence of artifice. Wouldn't that trigger a cascade of secrecy? Data would be classified, high-level officials summoned, security reviews launched. Agencies would delay releases, crafting a narrative to avoid panic or geopolitical ripples. The silence surrounding 3I Atlas. NASA's blackout, ESA's lockbox would be the expected fallout of a discovery too seismic to unveil. The spectroscopic data from 3I Atlas delivers another jolt. Observatories detected nickel in its outgassing, a known comet trait, but not shocking. The twist: no measurable iron alongside it. In our solar system, nickel and iron are cosmic companions fused in meteorites, asteroids, and planetary cores. Their ratios a fingerprint of natural formation. 3I Atlas shatters this script, presenting nickel in eerie isolation. On Earth, separating nickel from iron is no accident. It's industrial alchemy achieved through processes like nickel carbonyl refining. We craft high nickel alloys like Inconel, tailored for extreme durability, corrosion resistance, and survival near blistering heat sources like a star. These are deliberate engineered materials, not nature's handiwork. Yet 3I Atlas flaunts this signature in its outgassing as it dances perilously close to our sun. The James Webb Space Telescope adds another layer. The object's coma brims with carbon dioxide ice, hinting at formation near the rare CO2 ice line, a zone alien to most comets, which cradle water ice from colder realms. This chemistry screams anomaly, suggesting an origin story unlike anything in our cosmic neighborhood. Caution is warranted. Nature can conjure oddities, solar heating, bizarre formation paths, or chance chemical cocktails might explain these quirks. A single outlier doesn't prove artifice. But imagine sifting through meteorites expecting familiar stone, only to find a gleaming shard of spaceship-grade alloy. You wouldn't dismiss it. You'd probe deeper, asking where it came from, why it defies the norm. 3I Atlas's composition, nickel sans iron CO2 dominance, raises that same urgency. If this object bears hallmarks of design agencies like NASA and ESA would pivot. Data would face intense scrutiny, locked behind review panels or classified outright. Psyche's blackout, high-rises missing frames, ESA's 2026 embargo. These aren't random. They're the fingerprints of a discovery too profound to release unfiltered. The question isn't just what 3I Atlas is, it's what agencies fear it might reveal. If this grips you, hit like, subscribe, and comment with your location time. It's 10:37 a.m. Plaza 07 Wednesday, October 22, 2025 here, and your take, truth, or cover-up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, or your chats. Your spark keeps this chase alive. April 2026 looms. Will it unveil the truth or seal the vault tighter? The peculiar composition of 3I Atlas nickel without iron, a carbon dioxide-dominated coma, casts a long shadow over the silence from Psyche High-Rise and ESA's ExoMars TGO. This isn't mere oversight or bureaucratic lag. It's a calculated gatekeeping, as if the data harbors truths too disruptive for routine release. If this object's essence defies natural categories, the blackout takes on a new, weighty significance, pointing to a question that burns: is someone shielding us from what 3I Atlas truly is? Because it's too extraordinary for open channels. The idea of NASA and ESA colluding to suppress 3I Atlas data might sound like a fevered conspiracy-cloaked figures in dim-lit rooms trading secrets. But strip away the theatrics and examine the timeline with clear eyes, and a subtler, more unsettling pattern emerges. It's not a grand plot, but a synchronized hesitation, a shared instinct to obscure. NASA tethered to Washington's priorities, and ESR navigating a coalition of European nations operate under distinct systems, different funding, different cultures, different pressures. Yet their actions around 3I Atlas align with eerie precision, like orchestras in separate halls, striking the same haunting chord. History offers no comfort here. The Galileo mission's images of Jupiter's moons, with their paradigm-shifting details, were passed out slowly, curated to control the narrative. Apollo's audio and telemetry, hailed as humanity's triumph, languished in classified vaults for decades. Cold War reconnaissance satellites, their lenses rivaling the best telescopes, spied in secret. Their existence revealed only through leaks and declassification years later. The lesson is stark. Some data is too potent for immediate release, not for lack of value, but for its overwhelming weight. Several frameworks explain this dance of delay. National security looms large if 3I Atlas hints at artificiality, planetary defense implications, or technological parity. With an unknown force, protocols would lock it down, triggering reviews far above mission control. Planetary protection is an object with even a whisper of biological or material risk would demand silence until hazards are ruled out. International coordination could drive synchronized embargoes to ensure consistency across nations, avoiding diplomatic chaos, though to us, it feels like suppression. Finally, proprietary access. For mission teams who've poured billions into Psyche or ExoMars, often delays data release for months, a routine that conveniently cloaks critical moments. These explanations could be benign, yet NASA's track record with comet data typically shared swiftly makes the silence around 3I Atlas glaring. The Psyche blackout, high-rises missing frames, ESA's 2026 lockbox, they form a constellation of withheld truths. This isn't coincidence. It's a pattern suggesting decisions made at levels beyond public view. What could be so seismic that two agencies oceans apart would forsake transparency? The answer may lie in the object's nature, a machine, not a comet pulsing with purpose. If this mystery sets your mind ablaze, hit like, subscribe, and comment with your location. The time, it's 10:37 a.m. +07 Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025 here, and your verdict, truth or cover-up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, or your group chats. Your voice fuels this pursuit. April 2026 looms as ESA's promised release date, but will it bring answers or another locked vault? The stars are watching. The Hubble Space Telescope has immortalized countless comets in its lens, flooding public archives with crystalline visions after mere weeks of processing. The James Webb Space Telescope, with its godlike infrared gaze, unveils cosmic secrets to the world in a heartbeat, weeks, not years. Rosetta's intimate dance around Comet 67P beamed images in near real time, pulling humanity into the heart of discovery. Like a shared fever dream, comets, in essence, have never been cloaked in shadow. They've been laid bare, dissected in journals, splashed across screens, celebrated as harbingers of wonder. So why does 3I Atlas shatter this tradition? Why does this lone wanderer from the void provoke droughts where torrents of imagery should cascade? The timeline doesn't lie, its coincidences pulse with the rhythm of a scripted shadow play. In early September, Psyche's archive plunges into blackout, swallowing 5 days of potential revelations without a trace. Days later, ESA's ExoMars staggers under a phantom 2029 release date, a glitch masquerading as catastrophe, morphing into a fortress of delay that barricades the data until April 2026. At the precise instant this interstellar enigma hurtles into its most revealing arc, the conduits of knowledge, data pipelines, primed to flood us with light choke and go dark. Meanwhile, High-Rise, perched on Mars with its razor-sharp eye, hoards its bounty in silence. No denials, no timelines, just an abyss where explanations should roar. One agency's stutter might pass as fluke. 2 could whisper of red tape's lazy grip. But 3, 4 aligned in their exquisite pauses. That's no accident, it's architecture. Let's breathe here, honor the edges of our probe. There's no leaked directive from NASA's inner sanctum branding 3i Atlas classified. No ESA insider spilling that the embargo orders rained down from on high. What we hold is a web of shadowed timings, a symphony of silences rhyming across orbits and oceans. Skeptics will counter with the dull thunder of bureaucracy. Glitches, cascade delays are the soul of institutions. They're not mistaken. But peel back the veil of any system long enough, and you'll see accidents huddle like conspirators around truths, too jagged to swallow whole. Chaos mapped against the clock reveals its choreography. Why the hush? A standard comet would demand fanfare, not fences. A mere hunk of cosmic gravel, it'd be catalogued and forgotten in a flood of pixels. The very act of suppression screams that 3i Atlas eludes the ordinary, that it's ignited protocols for the profoundly peculiar. And from that spark, the shadows stretch into the uncanny. Are we beholding an interstellar envoy, a solar-fueled engine from a long-lost stellar nursery, a ghost script from intelligences that etched the stars before our first spark of thought, or something vaster, still blurring the line where nature ends and intent begins? We stand at the precipice of not knowing. And that's the raw truth. Yet the silences, the blackouts, the staggered vaults, the artful pauses howl louder than any briefing. They whisper that 3i Atlas has rattled the gatekeepers of the cosmos, that the tidy tale of just another comet crumbles under the weight of orchestrated omission. This births our guiding flame. What if 3i Atlas isn't a comet at all? What if its sunward defiance, its nickel-drenched aura, its voids in the data aren't flukes, but fingerprints of design? Signatures of a mechanism too audacious to trumpet, too vital to bury? If so, the quiet isn't void. It's a siren, the guarded hum of guardians who've glimpsed the abyss and deemed us unready for its gaze. All the frayed threads of this saga knot into one spectral query, the one that's haunted every gap, every withheld frame, every institutional flinch from the stewards of our stellar truths. What if 3i Atlas isn't a lifeless comet tumble, a frozen relic adrift in the endless black, but a deliberate artifact, a probe, a mechanism, an emissary of intellect, siphoning our sun's fury for thrust or sustenance? At first blush, it teeters on the brink of fantasy, summoning visions of extraterrestrial craft in a realm where astronomers cling to the sanctuary of the natural, bold undeniably. Reckless, only if the evidence recoils. But here's the hook. This hypothesis doesn't chase proof. It weaves the anomalies into a tapestry that mundane models can't thread without fraying. Like a master key slipping home, the artificial probe idea unlocks more with less strain, where natural tales twist into pretzels to patch the rents. It ignites with a single searing frame, the sunward jet. That October 16th photograph, doled out with surgical detachment, yet met with a rising tide of dread, frames a torrent of matter surging toward the sun, not fleeing it as the laws of comets decree. Sublimation's alchemy should birth plumes that bloom outward, solar winds sculpting tails into ethereal banners, trailing the star like defiant scarves. Thermodynamics brooks no rebellion. Heat unlocks ices, gases bloom and flee momentum, the inexorable choreographer. But Three-Eye Atlas revolts. Its plume lunges sunward, a celestial exhale defying the gale. As nature's quirk, it's a riddle wrapped in heresy. As engineered exhaust, it snaps into focus. Envision thrusters, belching plasma in measured fury, a craft fine-tuning its plunge toward perihelion dumping mass for vector tweaks, balancing the solar blaze like a daredevil glider riding thermals. No chaos, just calculus. The halo's rigid geometry, the nickel's lonely gleam, the acceleration that mocks gravity's grip. They cascade into coherence under this lens, a machine murmuring its secrets in solar fire. If this grips your soul like it does mine, smash like, subscribe, and flood the comments. Your corner of the world, the hour on your clock. It's 10:37 a.m. plus on Road 7. Wednesday, October 22, 2025. From here, in your stance, revelation, or ruse, hurl this tale across X, Facebook, Reddit, your shadowed circles. You're the pulse that propels us deeper. April 2026 beckons as ESA's veiled vow, dawn of disclosure or dusk of deeper dark. The void hungers for answers. The anomalies of Three-Eye Atlas weave a tapestry that defies the ordinary. The sunward jet, a brazen violation of cometary physics, transforms from a baffling quirk into a calculated maneuver when viewed through the lens of intent. Nickel, stripped of its cosmic partner iron, gleams in spectral data, a composition that echoes industrial metallurgy, not the raw chaos of stellar forges. Separating these elements demands precision, a process alien to nature's blind alchemy. Then there's the carbon dioxide heavy coma, its ratios clashing with the water ice signatures of typical comets, hinting at an origin sculpted by forces beyond random cosmic drift. Psyche's inexplicable blackout, perfectly timed to obscure its high-resolution gaze, seals. The pattern, coincidence, strains, credulity, choreography beckons. No single anomaly screams machine, but together they hum with coherence. Each piece jet composition silence slots into a mosaic that whispers of design growing sharper when we dare to imagine technology. Consider our own solar sails, real and tested riding photon streams to glide through space. NASA has poured millions into their study. Prototypes have danced in orbit. If humanity, barely a cosmic toddler, can harness stellar light, why dismiss the possibility that an older, wiser intelligence might craft probes to surf the galaxy's currents? Scale it up a Dyson swarm. A lattice of machines drinking a star's energy could birth scouts like Three-Eye Atlas probes, dispatched to sip solar power, adjust course with sunward vents, or shed heat in disciplined bursts. That impossible jet, perhaps just routine upkeep for a star-faring relic. Skeptics, rightly cautious, anchor us to Earth. Comets are wild. They argue jets twist rotations, deceive outgassing defies neat models. Leaping to artifice risks weaving data into fantasy, mistaking chaos for intent. Their wisdom guards against folly, demanding patience and rigor. Yet skepticism, when too rigid, becomes a cage. To endlessly chalk up anomalies to nature's whims risks dogma as much as embracing alien probes does. History's revolutions, Copernicus reordering the heavens, Darwin rewriting life's story, sprang from daring to admit old frameworks failed. 3I Atlas may be such a pivot. 3 paths emerge. First, it's a natural comet, its eccentricities stretching physics, but still within its grasp, a lesson in humility that widens our cosmic lens. Second, it's a probe, an artifact of intellect, whether a forgotten human relic or an alien envoy upending our solitude in the stars. Third, it's a liminal enigma blending nature and design in ways our minds can't yet pass, a hybrid that challenges the very dichotomy of natural and artificial. If natural, we expand our science. If artificial, the implications quake interstellar technology has grazed our skies, and the cosmos' silence may be our own deafness masked by institutional caution. The blackouts, Psyche's, high-rises, ESA's lockbox aren't voids. They're signals pulsing with the weight of what agencies dare not yet share. If 3I Atlas is a machine, the silence isn't absence, it's a shield, guarding truths too vast for now. This saga burns. Hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts. Your city, the time, it's 10:38 a.m. +07. Wednesday, October 22, 2025, here in your call, Truth or Cover Up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, your inner circles. You fuel this hunt. April 2026 looms as ESA's promised unveiling. Will it illuminate or deepen the dark? The stars demand, we keep asking. The hybrid possibility that 3I Atlas might blur the line between comet and construct unsettles most of all. Advanced technology could masquerade as geology, mimicking a comet so perfectly that our categories dissolve. What if this object is a natural body co-opted or engineered into service, a fusion of rock and intent? The natural and artificial might entwine, rendering our distinctions obsolete. Faced with such a paradigm shifter, what would our institutions do? Proclaim a universe-altering discovery, or retreat into silence, wary of shattering societal norms or ceding narrative control? The blackouts, Psyche's missing days, high-rises with held frames. ESA's 2026 lockbox suggests the latter. Extraordinary data isn't heralded. It's quarantined, funneled through bureaucratic filters, while the public is fed tales of icy wanderers. This is why the probe hypothesis, however audacious, demands a seat at the table. Not because it's certain, but because dismissing it risks willful blindness. The sunward jet, the nickel-heavy composition, the orchestrated silences, they don't just defy explanation, they beg for one that fits. 3I Atlas challenges us to confront not just the cosmos, but our own courage to demand truth from the gatekeepers of knowledge. If that jet is a maneuver, if that alloy hints at design, if Psyche's blackout masks a revelation too vast, then history has already pivoted. We've been visited, observed, and our choice is stark: open our eyes to the signal or cling to the comforting myth of cosmic debris until the next envoy arrives. As 3I Atlas carves its fiery arc toward the sun and beyond, another sentinel stirs in the outer solar system. NASA's Europa Clipper, a titan of astrobiology, is no longer a distant dream, probing Jupiter's icy moon. Its moment is now. In late October 2025, Clipper aligns for its pivotal observations, armed with humanity's most advanced instruments, to pierce Europa's frozen veil and seek signs of life in its hidden oceans. But missions rarely obey their stated scripts. Hardware is agnostic. Clipper's radar, built to probe ice, can scan the void. Its high-resolution cameras, meant for Europa's scars, can pivot to the stars. Its sensors, tuned for chemical whispers, can sniff an interstellar passerby like Three-Eye Atlas. From Jupiter's vantage, Clipper commands a celestial perch, seeing swaths of the solar system Earth's telescopes can't touch. It's perfectly poised to glimpse Three-Eye Atlas if those controlling its gaze choose to look. This transforms Clipper from a moon-bound explorer into a cosmic wildcard, its potential cloaked in the same institutional shadows that darkened Psyche's feed. History warns us when Cassini spotted water plumes erupting from Enceladus. Rewriting habitability's rules, the data trickled out only after weeks of internal vetting. That was for Geyser's natural explicable. What if Clipper captures something stranger, something hinting at artifice? Would those frames see daylight or vanish into classified vaults as Apollo's secrets did for decades? The precedent is clear anomalies trigger gatekeeping. Psyche's September blackout, predating the government shutdown, reeks of choreography, not chance. ESA's 2099 glitch-turned-2026 embargo mirrors the pattern. Now, as Clipper's window opens, the stakes sharpen. Its instruments will see what they see. Space knows no borders, but the flow of data lies in human hands. Will Clipper's streams pour freely? Or will they be damned redacted, delayed like Psyche's and high rises? The silence surrounding Three-Eye Atlas suggests a script already in motion. If Clipper's gaze catches this enigma, will we see its truth or face another blackout? The question isn't just what Three-Eye Atlas is, it's whether we'll be trusted to know. Smash like, subscribe, and comment your location. The time, it's 10:39 a.m. +07. Wednesday, October 22, 2025 here, and your take truth or cover up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, your private circles. You're the fire driving this quest. April 2026 looms as ESA's deadline, but Clipper's window is now. Will it illuminate or deepen the cosmic dark? As Three-Eye Atlas streaks through its solar sprint, defying physics with its sunward jet and alien chemistry, Europa Clipper looms at the edge of the solar system, its instruments primed to probe more than icy moons. Will it capture a fleeting glimpse of this interstellar enigma, or will its data vanish into the same institutional void that swallowed Psyche's feed and high-rises frames? The public will hear polished tales of Europa's ridges and chemical whispers of habitability. But Clipper is no mere moon gazer. Its radar cameras and sensors, built to pierce ice and map alien seas, can just as easily pivot to scan the heavens, catching anomalies like Three-Eye Atlas in their unblinking gaze. From Jupiter's perch, it commands a view Earth cannot match, a sentinel poised to witness what ground-based scopes miss. This isn't conspiracy. It's the logic of hardware. Build a tool, and it sees what it sees. Purpose be damned. A defense radar tracks more than missiles. A weather satellite spies beyond storms. Clipper's instruments don't care about mission briefs. They'll register whatever crosses their path. But the gatekeepers do care. Will they let the data flow, or will they filter it, citing analysis or security? The precedent, Psyche's blackout. ESA's 2026 lockbox suggests quarantine over candor. If Clipper catches something paradigm-shattering like a machine masquerading as a comet, the silence could deepen the data buried in vaults while the public gets sanitized stories of ice and oceans. The stakes transcend science touching politics, security, even our place in the cosmos. If Clipper's sensors snag a signal, say a trajectory or structure hinting at intent, what follows open wonder or institutional lockdown? The choice lies not in the circuits, but in the hands steering the narrative. As Clipper orbits into history, it's not just a mission, it's a node in a quiet surveillance web watching the cosmic traffic that may redefine us. Will it break the silence or add another layer to the shadow play? Part 12. Hera Planetary Defense or Planetary Surveillance. Enter Hera ES's heralded 2026 mission, already humming with preparation in late 2025. Its public face is Noble Rendezvous with the Didymos binary asteroid system, measuring the aftermath of NASA's 2022 DART impact that nudged Dimorphos's orbit. Hera's task is to map that shift with surgical precision, testing our ability to deflect Earthbound threats, a cosmic insurance policy against the next Chicxulub, the asteroid that erased dinosaurs and reshaped life 66 million years ago. The mission's clarity is unassailable: protect humanity from the sky's indifference. But Hera is more than its press kit. Its radar, optical images, and LiDAR sensors, tuned to detect pebbles and orbital wobbles millions of kilometers away, don't sleep once Didymos fades. They can scan the void, track fleeting visitors, and capture anomalies like 3i Atlas with unnerving clarity. This is the dual-use dilemma baked into technology's soul. A shield is also a spyglass. Planetary defense demands vigilance, but vigilance sees all asteroids, comets, and objects that defy both. Hera's tools, built to chart rubble, can just as easily surveil the uncharted, making it a silent guardian of the solar system's stranger guests. This duality isn't new. Cold War missile radars, sold as survival, morphed into global watchtowers, tracking launches, debris, even whispers of intent. Weather satellites, launched for storms, doubled as geopolitical lenses. Hera follows this path. Framed as defense, it's poised to become a surveillance titan. Its gaze sweeping for anomalies like Oumuamua or 3i Atlas objects that accelerate, oddly gleam with unnatural alloys, or jet sunward against all logic. When 3i Atlas skimmed Mars orbiters like HiRISE should have delivered breathtaking detail, yet only curated crumbs emerged. Psyche's September 2025 window went dark, no explanation given. These aren't glitches, they're choreography, a pattern of silence at the moments truth should shine. Hera's arrival sharpens the question. Will it bolster this veil or pierce it? Its instruments could unmask 3i Atlas or its kin. But will the data flow freely or join the locked vaults of 2026? The pattern, NASA's blackouts, ESA's delays, suggests a system braced for something too big to share. If Hera's gaze catches a machine in the stars, will we hear its song or face another orchestrated hush? Smash, like, subscribe, and comment your location. The time, it's 10:40 a.m. +07 Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, here, and your verdict, truth or cover-up. Share this on X, Facebook, Reddit, your shadowed circles. You're the spark that keeps this hunt alive. As Hera gears up and Clipper's window closes, the cosmos waits. Will we see or be left in the dark? Just weeks after Psyche's blackout, a ground-based telescope unveiled a propulsion-like jet erupting from 3i Atlas's front. A defiant anomaly that screams intent. This institutional silence sets a chilling precedent. If NASA and ESA stewards of planetary science gatekeep data about such anomalies, why expect Hera to break the mold? Its instruments capable of piercing the void for unnatural trajectories or alien signatures will feed through the same filtered channels framed solely as asteroid deflection data. An unexpected find, a metallic gleam, a non-natural arc won't likely spark instant disclosure, but vanish into classified review as Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas did before. This raises a piercing ethical question when taxpayers fund Hera as planetary defense. Should they be told its instruments double as cosmic surveillance? Shouldn't we debate protocols for what happens if Hera detects something unmistakably artificial? Burying these questions doesn't erase them, it hands decisions to shadowed rooms. This isn't malice, it's bureaucratic gravity. A defense mission morphs into monitoring, then anomaly detection, then information control. As Three-Eye Atlas fades post-perihelion, Hera's rise feels like a baton pass from passive stargazing to active interception. The public will see polished reports of asteroid orbits, but anomalies, if caught, will likely slip into classified silos unseen by us. In 2025, AI and machine learning are the unsung gatekeepers of cosmic data. The James Webb Space Telescope alone churns out terabytes daily, joined by Hubble Chandra Gaia and spacecraft like Psyche and Europa Clipper. Human eyes can't keep up, so AI steps in sorting, flagging, filtering. It's a triage nurse deciding what's normal for public archives and what's anomalous for review. This sounds efficient, but it's a double-edged sword. Algorithms trained on expected patterns, comet ices, Newtonian orbits, sublimation jets, flag deviations for scrutiny. A sunward jet nickel sans ion or rogue acceleration like Three-Eye Atlas's trips, every wire shunted to quarantine before humans even see it. This isn't sinister by design. In medicine, AI spots tumors. In cybersecurity, it flags hacks. In astronomy, it weeds out cosmic noise to protect science from false positives. But what if the anomaly isn't error, but discovery? An AI trained on yesterday's physics might mislabel a paradigm shifter as glitch, locking it in limbo. Psyche's September was to 5 blackout perfectly timed to miss. Three-Eye Atlas's close approach reeks of this. Flagged data routed to review could sit under institutional lock, not from conspiracy, but caution, fear of error, ridicule, or truths too vast. This is the new face of space science algorithms as gatekeepers trained on the known, potentially blind to the revolutionary. Agencies wary of sensationalism or political fallout lean on these filters, making anomalies the very sparks of progress, the least likely to surface. Psyche's gap, ESA's 2026 embargo, high-rise's silence. They're symptoms of a system where novelty risks suppression. As Hera prepares and Clipper scans, will their data break free or join the hidden vaults? Smash, like, subscribe, and comment your location time. It's 10:41 a.m. plus 07. Wednesday, October 22, 2025 here, and take truth or cover up, share on X, Facebook, Reddit, your circles. You're the pulse of this quest. As 2026 nears, will Hera and Clipper unveil the cosmos or seal its secrets tighter? The shift from 2005 to 2025 in astronomy is seismic. 2 decades ago, telescopes dumped raw data into archives, and researchers sifted through the cosmic haystack, anomalies included. Today, AI gatekeepers, sophisticated, relentless, sort the deluge before human eyes ever meet it. Designed to tame the terabyte flood from JWST Hubble Psyche and beyond, these algorithms flag normal for release and shunt anomalous to review. Efficiency demands it. Without filters, science drowns. But this solution births a shadow, a system where novelty, 3i Atlas's sunward jet, nickel-heavy outgassing, rogue acceleration, triggers quarantine, not celebration. The infrastructure of discovery has morphed into one of control, not by malice, but by design. This is the scandal, not just Psyche's missing days, but a world where anomalies vanish by default, caught in algorithmic nets trained on yesterday's truths. Breakthroughs, radioactivity, quasars, dark matter were once anomalies embraced, not buried. If 3i Atlas's oddities are filtered into limbo, we risk a cosmos shrunk to fit our expectations, where telescopes see all but we learn only what's safe. In 2025, whispers of radical physics ripple through scientific journals, not mere tweaks, but cracks in the foundation. 3i Atlas. The interstellar renegade is the epicenter. Its mass defies logic, far denser than its size suggests, less a dirty snowball of ice and silicate than a compact enigma hinting at alloys or engineered composites. A comet should be porous, lightweight. Atlas feels like it's forged from heavier truths. Then there's its acceleration, clean directed and far too potent for standard models. Comets wobble from outgassing solar heat. Vaporizes ice's jets erupt, nudging orbits like gentle thrusters. It's routine coded into NASA's software. But 3i Atlas's push is no random sputter. Its vectors are precise, almost orchestrated, defying the chaotic dance of sublimation. It's as if sparks from a fire aligned in formation, guided by unseen intent. Mainstream explanations strain. Solar wind-charged particles bathing the comet can nudge dust clouds, but Atlas's force is too mighty, like a fan trying to shift a freight train. Radiation pressure, where light itself pushes, works for thin reflective surfaces, like solar sails, but scaling it to Atlas's heft stretches credulity. These aren't answers. They're placeholders clinging to the known while the unknown looms larger. If Atlas is natural, it demands a rewrite of cometary physics. If artificial, it's a seismic revelation. An interstellar probe, its jets maneuvers its density, a hallmark of design. The silence, Psyche's blackout, high-rise's absence, ESA's 2026 vault suggests institutions grappling with data too disruptive to release. Hera and Europa Clipper loom as the next sentinels. Will their data break free or join the shadowed archives? Smash like, subscribe, and comment your location time. It's 10:42 a.m. +07 Wednesday, October 22, 2025 here, and take truth or cover up. Share on X, Facebook, Reddit your circles. You drive this quest. As 2026 nears, will we glimpse the cosmos' truth or face another orchestrated dark? The anomalies of 3i Atlas, its sunward jet, nickel-heavy outgassing, and rogue acceleration push against the boundaries of known physics, straining natural explanations to their breaking point. Comets, tumbling and absorptive, shouldn't harness sunlight's feeble push with such force unless coated in reflective surfaces nature doesn't craft. Electrostatic forces from solar wind or radiation pressure fall short, like trying to move a boulder with a breeze. The data tears through conventional models, leaving a radical possibility whispering in the margins: active propulsion. What if 3i Atlas isn't a passive rock, but a vessel, a probe steering with deliberate intent? That sunward jet captured in August's stark imagery transforms from chaotic outgassing to calculated thrust. Its nickel cyanide chemistry, laced with refractory materials, reads less like cosmic chance and more like engineering honed for stellar fire. This isn't a leap to certainty. Astronomy thrives on skepticism, and extraordinary claims demand ironclad proof. Journals and conferences hedge cloaking anomalies in cautious prose prioritizing natural models. Sky at Night and other outlets nod to the oddities, but cling to familiar explanations wary of overreach. Yet caution can curdle into dogma, blinding us to what the data screams. When skepticism dismisses the possibility of design, it risks becoming as rigid as blind belief. The Psyche blackout, September 1st to 5th, precisely when 3i Atlas should have been framed in high-resolution glory, carries a sinister edge. No images, no explanation, just a void where data should flood. The October 1st government shutdown can't explain it. The timeline doesn't align. Was this a glitch or a deliberate erasure? ESA's own saga mirrors this. ExoMars TGO's data initially stamped for release in 2099, a glitch or a Freudian slip, now sits locked until April 3, 2026. A new ESA image from August showing that sunward jet feels like a controlled drip, not transparency. HiRISE's missing Mars flyby data and Europa Clipper's looming October 25-26 window add to the stakes. Each is a chance to pierce the veil, yet each risks joining the silent chorus. If 3i Atlas's anomalies hint at new physics or engineered intent withholding them, isn't just caution, it's gatekeeping knowledge that could redefine reality. Radioactivity, superconductivity, even relativity began as anomalies too strange to accept, yet they birthed new eras. If Atlas carries such a spark propulsion without fuel matter crafted for stars, the blackouts and delays aren't mere hiccups. They're a betrayal of discovery's heart. Institutions driven by self-preservation fear the reputational fallout of radical data. The stranger define the tighter the leash, by framing anomalies as glitches or bearing them in review. NASA and ESA morph from explorers to fortresses. This isn't conspiracy, it's the sociology of power. Science demands we face the unknown, yet the system recoils, choosing silence over confrontation. 3i Atlas is a challenge, a dark forest rustling with unseen truths. To cover our ears is to forfeit progress. History belongs to those who light the lantern and step forward. 3i Atlas is no lone enigma. It's a thread in a sprawling tapestry of muted science woven through 2025's cosmic narrative. The silence surrounding it, Psyche's blackout, ESA's lockbox, HiRISE's absence reflects a broader shift in how institutions handle the unknown. This isn't just about one interstellar visitor. It's about a system increasingly designed to filter out the extraordinary, leaving us with a curated cosmos that fits neatly within the expected. Zoom out and the pattern sharpens. In 2025, space science is a fire hose of data, JWST's terabyte torrents, Hubble's relentless stream, Gaia's star maps, and spacecraft like Psyche, Europa Clipper, and Mars orbiters flooding servers faster than humans can blink. AI algorithms, the silent sentinels, sift this deluge, trained to spot normal for release and flag anomalous for scrutiny. This is survival. Without automation, researchers would drown, but the cost is steep. When 3i Atlas's sunward jet or nickel-heavy emissions trip the AI's alarms, they don't reach public archives. They vanish into review pipelines where human gatekeepers decide their fate. This isn't malice, it's protocol. Yet, it means the most revolutionary data, the kind that could rewrite physics or unveil alien intent, faces the highest hurdles. History whispers warnings. When Galileo's images of Jupiter's moons hinted at alien worlds, they were curated, released in measured doses. Apollo's classified tapes sat locked for decades. Cold War satellites, built for defense, spied far beyond their mandate, their truths trickling out only after years. Today's anomalies: Atlas's density-defying comet norms, its acceleration too precise for outgassing, follow the same path. Psyche's September 1/5 blackout, perfectly timed to miss Atlas's close approach, isn't an isolated glitch. SA's 2099 to 2026 delay reeks of control, not error. High-rise's silence during the Mars flyby and the looming Europa Clipper window. Each is a test. Will data flow, or will the pattern of quarantine hold? This silence isn't random, it's structural. Institutions wary of ridicule or geopolitical fallout lean on AI filters and review boards to tame the unknown. But this risks a science that only sees what it expects, where anomalies, the seeds of breakthroughs, are buried by default. Radioactivity, quasars, dark energy all began as errors that defied dismissal. 3I Atlas, with its propulsion-like, jet alloy-like composition and impossible density, could be such a seed. If it's a probe, a relic of intent, the silence isn't just caution, it's a firewall against a truth too vast. If it's natural, it still demands new physics, a rewrite of cometry rules. Either way, the blackout betrays a system more invested in control than discovery. As Hera prepares for 2026, its planetary defense mandate masks a broader role, a surveillance platform, its instruments poised to catch anomalies like Atlas. Yet, its data, like Psyche's, will pass through the same filtered channels where algorithms and committees hold sway. Europa Clipper's October window teeters on the same edge. Will it reveal Atlas's secrets or join the silent choir? The public deserves more than polished asteroid reports or Europa's icy vistas. We deserve the anomalies, the uncomfortable truths, the data that doesn't fit. Science thrives when it stares into the abyss, not when it builds walls to keep it out. This is the crossroads of 2025, a cosmos brimming with signals filtered by machines and guarded by institutions. 3I Atlas is a warning, a call to demand transparency, to reject a future where discovery is tamed by code and caution. If we let silence win, we don't just lose Atlas's truth. We lose the chance to redefine our place among the stars. Smash like, subscribe, and comment your location time. It's 10:43 a.m. +07 Wednesday, October 22, 2025 here, and verdict truth or cover-up. Share on X, Facebook, Reddit, your inner circles. You're the fire fueling this chase. As Hera rises and Clipper scans, will we pierce the silence or sink deeper into the cosmic dark? The anomalies of 3I Atlas, its sunward jet, nickel-heavy composition, and rogue acceleration aren't isolated quirks, but threads in a broader tapestry of silence that stretches across the scientific landscape of 2025. This interstellar wanderer, defying cometry norms with its dense mass and propulsion-like behavior, exposes a chilling shift in how we handle the unknown. The Psyche blackout, SA's 2026 embargo, high-rise's missing frames. They're not mere glitches, but symptoms of a system increasingly designed to gatekeep the extraordinary. Zoom out and the pattern sharpens, revealing a new era where anomalies, the seeds of discovery, are systematically filtered, delayed, or buried. Not by conspiracy, but by the quiet machinery of institutional control. This pattern isn't confined to astronomy. In fusion energy research, breakthroughs at facilities like ITER or private ventures spark headlines, but raw data lingers in restricted vaults, cloaked in review or validation protocols. The excuses national security commercial competition are plausible, yet the outcome is the same. Transformative findings are throttled, released in sanitized summaries. China's FAST telescope, a titan of radio astronomy, captures fast radio bursts and transient phenomena, but key datasets remain locked from global researchers, justified by domestic priorities. Defense aerospace, from DARPA to classified spaceplane programs, hoards observations of orbital platforms and cosmic phenomena shrouded in security frameworks. These systems, capable of spotting anomalies like 3-Eye Atlas, operate beyond public reach, their discoveries sealed from scrutiny. This convergence across fusion radio astronomy, aerospace, and now cometary science paints a stark picture. Anomalies, whether they hint at new physics, artificial constructs, or paradigm-shifting truths, face systematic suppression. The mechanisms vary: restricted archives, algorithmic filters, flagging errors, national security classifications, or international embargoes for coordinated release. But the result is singular. The public and even the broader scientific community is denied access to data that challenges the known. This isn't a cabal in shadowed rooms. It's bureaucratic gravity, a structural evolution where control trumps curiosity. In democracies, we've long held that knowledge is a public right, that government-funded science belongs to humanity. Open access laws, transparent archives, and collaborative research embody this ideal. Yet 2025's pattern suggests erosion, a shift toward a model where anomalies are threats to institutional authority, not opportunities for revelation. Who decides what we see? When data like 3-Eye Atlas's sunward jet or nickel-heavy outgassing trips, AI filters or alarms review boards, it's rerouted to limbo, not shared. This isn't just about one probe or one comet. It's about the future of discovery itself. If we let algorithms and committees define our cosmic view, we'll only learn what fits yesterday's models. The history of science radioactivity quasars. Dark matter shows breakthroughs begin as anomalies embraced, not buried. The societal stakes are profound. 3-Eye Atlas, with its dense mass and controlled acceleration, could signal new physics or even a crafted probe. If it's natural, it demands we rewrite cometary science. If artificial, it upends our place in the cosmos. But the real scandal isn't Atlas's nature, it's the silence. Psyche's September 1-5 blackout, perfectly timed to miss Atlas's close approach, reeks of intent, not accident. ESA's 2099 to 2026 delay feels like a controlled drip, not transparency. HiRISE's absent Mars flyby data and Europa Clipper's looming October window teeter on the same edge. Hera, framed as planetary defense, joins this web in 2026, its sensors primed to catch anomalies, but likely filtered through the same guarded channels. This pattern echoes beyond astronomy. Fusions with held data could unlock clean energy. FAST's bursts might hint at cosmic signals. DARPA's spaceplanes could see Atlas-like objects we'll never know about. Each case shows institutions choosing control over candor, prioritizing stability over truth. The danger is a science that sees everything but shares only what's safe. where telescopes and spacecraft become tools of surveillance, not discovery. 3I Atlas is a clarion call, a challenge to demand the gaps, to question the delays, to reject a future where code and caution bury the unknown. As Europa Clipper scans Jupiter and Hera gears up, the question isn't just what they'll see, it's whether we'll be trusted to know. The silence isn't neutral. It's a signal louder than any press release. It whispers of a civilization at a crossroads, choosing between facing the cosmic forest's rustling truths or closing our eyes. The greatest discovery may not be Atlas's jets or alloys, but the courage to confront why we're kept in the dark. Watch the gaps. Demand the data. The stars are waiting. Smash like, subscribe, and comment your location time. It's 10:43 a.m. plus 07 Wednesday, October 22, 2025 here, and verdict, truth or cover-up. Share on X, Facebook, Reddit, your circles. You're the spark igniting this quest. As 2026 looms, will we pierce the silence or let the cosmos's truths slip into shadow?